The truth about God. The concept of God has been a subject of philosophical and theological inquiry for centuries, and different people and cultures hold varying beliefs about God. It's important to recognize that discussions about God often involve matters of faith, personal belief, and subjective experiences, rather than verifiable empirical facts. As an AI, I don't possess personal beliefs or opinions, but I can provide you with an overview of common perspectives on the topic. 1. Theism. Theism is the belief in the existence of one or more gods, who are typically considered to be transcendent, omnipotent, omniscient, and benevolent. Religions such as Christianity, Islam, and Judaism are examples of theistic belief systems. 2. Atheism. Atheism is the rejection of the belief in the existence of gods. Atheists assert that there is no evidence to support the existence of a deity, and prefer to rely on empirical evidence and reason. 3. Agnosticism. Agnosticism is the position that the existence of God is unknown, unknowable, or inherently unknowable. Agnostics claim that it is impossible to prove or disprove the existence of God due to the limitations of human knowledge. 4. Deism. Deism posits that a supreme being, often referred to as a divine watchmaker, created the universe but does not intervene in its affairs. Deists believe that God exists based on reason and observation of the natural world, but reject the notion of a personal God who interacts with humanity. 5. Pantheism. Pantheism asserts that God and the universe are identical, or that the universe is a manifestation of God. In this view, God is immanent in nature and can be experienced through it. It's important to note that these are just a few of the many perspectives on the nature of God, and there are numerous variations and subdivisions within each category. Beliefs about God are deeply personal and can vary significantly from person to person. Ultimately, the truth about God is a question that individuals must explore and determine for themselves, based on their own experiences, reasoning, and worldview. Certainly, there have been many famous philosophers throughout history who have deeply engaged with the concept of God. Here are a few notable examples. Philosopher and theologian who sought to reconcile faith and reason in his work Summa Theologica. He presented the 5 ways as arguments for the existence of God based on observation and reason. 2. René Descartes, 1596 to 1650. Descartes was a French philosopher and mathematician who famously proclaimed cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. While Descartes is primarily known for his contributions to epistemology and metaphysics, he also explored the existence of God in his work, Meditations on First Philosophy. 3. Immanuel Kant, 1724–1804. Kant was a German philosopher who developed a comprehensive philosophical system. In his work Critique of Pure Reason, he examined the limits of human knowledge and argued for the existence of God as a postulate of practical reason. 4. Friedrich Nietzsche, 1844–1900. Nietzsche was a German philosopher who famously declared God as dead and critiqued traditional religious beliefs. His works, such as Thus Spoke Zarathustra and The Gay Science, explored the psychological and cultural implications of the death of God. 5. Søren Kierkegaard, 1813 to 1855. Kierkegaard was a Danish philosopher who emphasized the significance of individual subjective experience and faith. He discussed the concept of God extensively in his writings, such as Fear and Trembling and Works of Love. 6. Baruch Spinoza is 1630 to 1677. Spinoza was a Dutch philosopher, known for his rationalist and pantheistic views and his major work Ethics. He presented a comprehensive system of philosophy that identified God with nature or the universe. These are just a few examples of philosophers who have engaged with the concept of God in different ways. Their ideas have had a profound influence on philosophical and theological thought, shaping discussions and debates about the nature and existence of God. One philosopher who had highly controversial views on the concept of God was Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche is known for his provocative and challenging ideas, particularly his critique of traditional religious beliefs. His views on God and religion were highly controversial during his time and continue to be widely debated today. Nietzsche famously proclaimed that God is dead as a metaphorical statement, suggesting that traditional religious beliefs and moral frameworks were no longer tenable in a modern secular world. He argued that the decline of religious faith would have profound implications for human values and the meaning of life. Nietzsche criticized the concept of God as a projection of human ideals and aspiration, asserting that it was a product of human imagination rather than an objective reality. He saw religion as a source of repression and resented its influence on society, particularly what he perceived as its stifling effect on individual creativity and authenticity. Nietzsche's ideas challenged deeply held religious convictions and confronted prevalent moral and ethical frameworks of his time. His rejection of traditional religious beliefs and his exploration of alternative values sparked significant controversy and made him a highly polarizing figure in philosophy. It's important to note that Nietzsche's views on God and religion are complex and nuanced, and they require careful study and interpretation. His ideas continue to generate intense discussions and debates among philosophers, theologians, and scholars to this day. In his critique of traditional religious beliefs, Friedrich Nietzsche proposed alternative values that he believed could serve as a foundation for a new moral and ethical framework. Here are a few key concepts that Nietzsche explored. 1. Will to power. Nietzsche introduced the concept of the will to power, which he described as a fundamental drive underlying all human actions and motivations. He argued that the pursuit of power and self-affirmation was a natural and essential aspect of human existence. 2. Beyond good and evil. Nietzsche challenged traditional notions of good and evil, arguing that moral values are subjective and culturally constructed. He advocated for a reevaluation of values, encouraging individuals to go beyond good and evil and create their own moral codes based on their own individuality and desires. 3. Amor fati. Nietzsche put forth the idea of amor fati, which means love of fate or embracing one's fate. He encouraged individuals to affirm and accept the totality of their lives, including the painful and difficult aspects, rather than seeking escape or consolation in religious beliefs. 4. Eternal recurrence. Nietzsche proposed the concept of the eternal recurrence, suggesting that life is an eternal cycle repeating endlessly. He challenged individuals to imagine living their lives over and over again and to embrace each moment fully as it would recur infinitely. This idea aimed to encourage a sense of affirmation and responsibility for one's own existence. 5. Transvaluation of values. Nietzsche called for the transvaluation of values, urging individuals to critically reassess and challenge the dominant moral and cultural norms. He believed that traditional values had become life-denying and advocated for the creation of new values that would promote life affirmation, creativity, and individuality. Nietzsche's alternative values aimed to break free from what he saw as the constraints of traditional religious morality and offer a new perspective on human existence. It's important to note that Nietzsche's ideas are complex and open to interpretation, and they have been subject to various interpretations and criticisms over time. Hope you learn more about this video. Hope to see you on my next upload. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and share this video.